Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stock Market Today. It's Alyssa Corum here, and I am joined by Ken Shreve. Another wild day on Wall Street with this heightened volatility that we have been seeing as of late. We're going to break it all down for you, and Ken, give us a preview of the stocks that maybe going to provide a little bit more context to what's going on beneath the surface. And we have you on mute. But we're going to be taking a look at Align in addition to another couple of names.
Yeah, we're also going to take a look at Adobe and Lennar, which are set to report earnings next week and are finding support so far.
All right, well, we'll check in on those. But first, a look at the major indexes. The Nasdaq closing down 2% after in the early going. It was looking like we were going to have another day of gains with that bounce off of the 50-day line that we saw in yesterday's session, but we reversed lower, sharp declines across the board. The S&P 500 also finishing down about 1.8%, and the Dow down about 1.5%. So this is exactly why we went to market uptrend under pressure. We're seeing increased volatility right now.
Yeah, earlier in the week, Tuesday, just 2 days ago, is when we went to market uptrend under pressure. That's when the Nasdaq broke slightly below its 50-day moving average right there. Yeah, and then yesterday, people are saying, well, why did you guys turn negative on the market? We're up, well over 2% on the Nasdaq Wednesday. But when you get the 3 straight declines that we saw, that really saw the Nasdaq come in about 10% off its high, that was heavy institutional selling, and sometimes that takes a little while to sort itself out. So not a big surprise to see the Nasdaq reverse lower today. It's testing support at the 50-day moving average. I mean, make no mistake, this is a much riskier environment for buying stocks. So we've been, telling people to just kind of scale back. If you're going to buy stocks, nibble small amounts and be ready to cut losses quickly. So it's still a pretty risky environment out there.
Yeah, very good point. And while we are seeking support at the 50-day line, hitting very clear resistance at this 21-day line as well. That was kind of our first tell, I think, a little bit earlier in the day that something may have been up, that we could see some declines coming back in with that resistance there. But we are staying disciplined and taking our cues from the market. And right now, the caution flag has definitely been raised.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's an excellent point. You can see it's almost uncanny. The Nasdaq rose, I think it was up 1% at one point today, and just kind of touched that 21-day moving average, and wasn't able to hold its gain. And we did have higher volume today too. So we've seen increased signs of institutional selling in the indexes as big investors start to take profits, and that's a risky environment for individual investors as well. So it looks like volume rose from Wednesday, another distribution day for the S&P and Nasdaq today.
Important to note there. But let's take a look at some individual names now, starting off with Align Technology, bucking the weakness today, Ken, up over 1% here. And it's had a nice strong couple of days in a row now, breaking out over this flat base here, and the relative strength line perking up as well.
Well, we viewers of this the Stock Market Today video know that we like to target stocks breaking out to bases and new highs. Of course, when this is happening in the early stages of a new market uptrend, these breakouts tend to work quite nicely. So wanted to talk about Align today because it was a stock that rose 1% on a decidedly down day for the market. Align makes the Invisalign teeth straightener. The earnings report in July was not all that great, frankly, but I'm really looking at this more technicals alone at this point because the fundamental picture is still a little bit uncertain. You see a big annual earnings estimate for next year, 2021, which is compelling. You can see they're expected to earn $6.80 a share next year, a big improvement from $2.29 expected this year. So technically a strong stock. Always want to pay attention to stocks bucking the trend in a weak tape, and Align is still looking pretty good.
Yeah, that it is. And next, it was a bit of a rough day for Adobe, a downside reversal for this long-term leader, down about 0.7% in above average volume. As you mentioned at the top of the show, earnings right around the corner. Some clear resistance here at not only the 21-day line, but even the 10-day line as well, yet it's still holding above the 50-day. So that's good at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's testing support, and it's actually still still holding above a prior buy point of 470.71. So there's something to be said for that. We're going to hear from Adobe next week when they report earnings. I believe September 15th is the date. And this stock got pulled back when the market came in hard for 3 days on Thursday, Friday, and Tuesday. Adobe followed the market, but a nice rally for the stock yesterday. And then it really looked like the stock went all the way up to the 500 level today. So we were talking about it on IBD Live and talking about its good price action. But again, weakness in the Nasdaq dragged this one lower. Still holding support, still holding above a buy point. Wouldn't be surprised to see strong results from Adobe next week.
Yeah, this stock definitely has a very long track record of solid double-digit gains on the top and bottom line. So we'll be very interested to see what that report is like. And in the home builder space, let's check in on Lennar, ticker LEN. Had a bit of a downside reversal today, closing down about 0.5%. This one also has earnings and saw a bit of a bounce off of that 50-day line earlier this week.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to hear from Lennar Monday after the close next week. So both Lennar and Adobe, we're going to be talking about in the earnings preview column, looking at some possible call option trades. The tape is pretty weak right now in the broad market, so call options may be a tough tough thing to do in a weak market. But if we could switch over to the weekly chart, take a look at Lennar from a weekly chart perspective, and I just really like the way this one looks. A lot of home builders still acting very well. The group still ranks very high in our 197 industry group rankings, and this is a weekly chart that is just a good example of what a solid first test of the 10-week moving average looks like. So, optimism about a turnaround in the home building industry. A lot of home builders acting well. I put Lennar right up there.
Yeah, but in terms of this stock or it being actionable right now, or in general, you talked about maybe nibbling a little bit, keeping a tight leash. But when we have earnings around the corner, you don't want to be outright buying a stock, even in the best conditions, just ahead of the earnings report. So perhaps we'll have to see what those call options look like heading into earnings.
Yeah, we'll publish that story tomorrow morning. It'll be on the homepage of investors.com, and like I said, we'll take a look at Adobe in a line, and also FedEx, which is reporting earnings next week. But FedEx is pretty far extended from a proper buy area. But so we'll take a look at Lennar and see if it makes sense. But I think the main takeaway right now is we're in a market.
Yes.
It's been such a powerful rally from the April 6th follow-through day. We've been waiting for a market pullback. We may finally have one here. It has yet to fully sort itself out yet, but a lot of market leaders starting to show suspicious action for sure.
And we will keep tabs on it day by day. And hey, maybe the silver lining out of all of this is that we are getting finally some proper full-fledged bases from a lot of those high-flying names that never really took a breath the whole way up in the rally, as you mentioned. So we'll have to see what happens from here, if market conditions are able to improve, if they worsen, if we kind of enter a trading range here. But you'll be sure that we're breaking everything down each and every day, not only on the show, but also IBD Live, our daily morning live stream, where our experts are breaking everything down in real time, as you mentioned, Ken.
Yeah, it's listen, it's a critical time for the market. I think the main takeaway from recent episodes of IBD Live is I think the consensus is that most people think that the best thing that the market could do right now is just kind of consolidate and pull back and give some of these big market leaders time to digest their gains. Many have started doing that, but this process could take a little time. But anytime you run up so quickly, just a little breathing period, a little period of consolidation is always healthy and good for the stock market.
That's right. So make sure to check out IBD Live at investors.com/IBD Live. If you have not already, we hope you join us. It's a fun time and very interactive and educational as well. So we hope to see you there tomorrow morning, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow after the close to cap off the week.